toy fans, Scott ToyGuru Nightlick here. Today I'm doing a video combining my love of action figures with my love of Sherlock Holmes. He is by far my favorite fictional character, and I decided to make a playset of 221B Baker Street for my action figures. So I'll take you through that. Here's actually a picture of me playing Sherlock Holmes in 7th grade. I guess there is something to be said about childhood trauma there. Alright, so most of what I did in the playset is based on the Sherlock Holmes Museum, which is in London at actually 221B Baker Street. My Aunt Sharon was kind enough to send a bunch of these pictures. She went and visited the museum this summer. I went years ago, but that was before smartphones, and I didn't really take that many pictures. But you can see the museum has done very, very well. It's got lots of antiques from the Victorian era, chemistry sets. There's a violin, of course. Really, really well done. I definitely highly recommend visiting it if you find yourself in London town. Even one of my favorite details is they even got the Victoria Regina in bullet holes that Holmes shoots through the wall, which is very cool. All right, so here is the playset. Right now I have it populated by a Everett Ross Black Panther figure and the BBC Sherlock figure, which Sherlock's in the back there for forced perspective, since he's a little too short. Really bugs me that the BBC figures are 5-inch. And then at the moment, Homer Simpson is the client. I kind of change the client every day, or whenever I feel like it. All right, so from left to right, starting on the far left is the weapons wall. You can see Sting there from Lord of the Rings. It's mostly Lord of the Rings weapons. The size are from the animation Ninja Turtle, Raphael, Goatman's hammer. The items on top of that bookshelf, the bookshelf is from Melissa and Doug. You can see some items from the Hasbro 3 3/4 Indiana Jones line. Lots of cool artifacts came from that line. The eyeballs in a jar came from Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, from NECA. The mace is from Hawkman from DCU. You also saw from The Simpsons, that was the walkie-talkie. That is a Schmidt action figure from Hellboy 2, the dive suit, which it's a fully articulated action figure, but it works great as a dive suit. The spear gun there is from Phony Bone from the Jeff Smith line. You see the fake Holy Grail up there on the books. The periodic table was printed out from the internet. The books come from the Ghostbusters Classics line from Mattel. There's actually 2 of them, one stacked on top of each other, so it's twice as tall. Strobo's Orb from Masters of the Universe Classics. The shield is from the NECA 300 action figure. There's Alan Scott's Lantern from DCU Classics. The books on the left are mostly World of Springfield and Masters of the Universe Classics, and they're on top of a chest from the Daenerys Targaryen Staction figure from Dark Horse. On the wall here, you have some more Indiana Jones artifacts. The butterflies, again, just printed out from the internet. The cow skull came from eBay. I just eBayed cow skull to see what I could get for a dollhouse. The fireplace is also from Melissa and Doug. It came with the clock and the candlesticks. I added the Holy Grail from Indiana Jones, a syringe from a doll medical kit, aspirin bottle of Grandpa Simpson, penknife from the Joker from Dark Knight, Jack Sparrow's flask, some actual Sherlock Holmes books, also from eBay. I just eBayed Sherlock Holmes dollhouse books. The skull came from the BBC Sherlock figure. You can see Phone Bone's bag in the back, Winston's ghost trap from Mattel Classics, Cletus's boots, Indiana Jones vase. Here is the fireplace from the actual museum. So you can see, it's not an exact replica, but it's close. The fire extinguishers from the Muppets kitchen playset. That is the violin case, which I'll get into when I talk about the violin later. You see Thorne's map from Bone. The Indiana Jones Ark of the Covenant, which is actually on top of a box, the crate for the Holy Grail, not the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, which came from Disneyland. They actually sold that crate, and it has a swastika on it, which is crazy that they sold that at Disneyland. That is Lionel Hutz's diploma from World of Springfield. The picture of General Gordon just came off the internet. The frame picture up on top is the Stonecutters charter from the Simpsons, the Homer Simpson Stonecutter figure. Some more Indiana Jones artifacts on the wall. I can't say it. The Mask of Agamemnon. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering it. Marzo's amulet, the Grail Knights from his tomb from the Indiana Jones line. Same with the Ankh. C-3PO from the Black Series, because why not? Same with the Alien that came from a NECA set, and the hoverboard, because why not? The hat rack from Melissa and Doug with Simpsons, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the accoutrements Sherlock Holmes hat, which I pulled off of him. Legolas's bow is also on there. The sword. Oh, and the dinosaurs, Mattel, that was from their Lost World line. They did a great line of articulated dinosaur skeletons, which is one of my favorite lines they did that they cut really short. That was after my time. Wonder Woman's shield, the Infinity Gauntlet from the Marvel Select Thanos. Rorschach's gun. On the bottom, below the table, is Bender's glass of wine. The XXX bottles from Cletus from World of Simpsons, as is the weight. There's a ghost trap down there. The Spartan helmet is Indiana Jones. The rope is Pirates of the Caribbean. The dynamite is from the Muppet kitchen playset, as is the brush and the wrench. On top of the table and behind it, you can see there's a bomb that came with, I believe, Hank Scorpio, World of Simpsons. There's also a dynamite launcher that was from the Muppets line. There is Gentleman Ghost's staff, or walking stick, as well as Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings, and a tennis racket from the Muppet playset, the kitchen playset. Wesley's sword from the NECA Princess Bride figure, the sword for the six-fingered man. Davy Jones's chest. Harley Quinn's mallet is on top of the chest. Now, on top of the table here, we have Hank Scorpio's detonator, Galadriel's jar from Lord of the Rings. Those two jars with the colored liquid are from the Muppets kitchen playset. Indiana Jones's bag from the 3 3/4 line. A PKE meter. Marzo's amulet from Motu Classics. The amulet from Raiders, also from Indiana Jones. Jack Sparrow's flask. The beakers are from that came with Professor Frink from the Muppets. You have Daenerys Targaryen's egg, dragon egg, on top of a Muppet spatula. Davy Jones's heart inside of a Muppet dish. And that's a TCRI ooze container from Ninja Turtles in the back. Here I have the gun wall. That is Batman's grapple gun from DC Universe. Some guns from the NECA Pirates of the Caribbean line. The middle one there is actually Kermit's gun from the Muppet Treasure Island version of Kermit. And then some more Pirates of the Caribbean guns under that. You can see another shot of Wesley's sword there. And some other odds and ends sticking out. And then, of course, my own version of the bullet holes that spell out Victoria Regina, Queen Victoria's initials. I just did that by poking holes through the wallpaper. The paper came from Joann's Fabrics. They have some really neat paper options, and I picked one that just fit well. The furniture in the middle is all Melissa and Doug, the chairs, the table, the end table. It also came with a couch, which I did not use. The book on the chair is Simpsons. The books stacked below, next to the chair are those actual Sherlock Holmes books. There was also one on the table with Malcolm Reynolds' gun on top from a Firefly line. Grandpa Simpson's newspaper. The chess set is from China. I got it off eBay for like $1. It was amazing. And all the pieces I glued down. It came with all the pieces needed. The rug, of course, came from a 10-inch Biff Bang Pow Big Lebowski figure, because I really needed a rug that was going to tie the room together. And I think it does nicely, and it does its job. It's tacked down to the floor, so it doesn't kind of roll up. The violin came from actually the Sherlock Holmes Museum, and that's what came with that case that's against the back wall. You can see Henry Jones's Grail Diary also, and the magnifying glass is from the Big Chief 12-inch Sherlock Holmes figure from the BBC show. It's from the Abominable Bride Sherlock Holmes, the Benedict Cumberbatch one. On that table there is a bread and butter platter from the Kitchen Muppet playset, Big Lebowski's White Russian from that Big Lebowski figure. The cards are from a Dark Knight Joker. The pipe is from the accoutrements Sherlock Holmes that also lent his hat. The riding whip at the bottom there is from the Peter and Lois Family Guy S&M set. Sherlock uses that in several stories, including the Speckled Band. You can see the Grail tablet from Indiana Jones, another Davy Jones chest, that one from the 3 3/4 line. More Indiana Jones artifacts to the far left. The Indiana Jones line really supplied some great stuff, I have to say. You can see actual wood, like sticks I put in the fireplace. And another shot of the chair with the violin. So, and again, you can get violins like this from almost any music store. I used to have one that was slightly bigger, didn't quite fit. And then my Aunt Sharon brought me this one from the actual museum, and it fit perfectly in scale with a 6-inch figure. It came with the violin, the bow, and the case, which is against the back wall. And then again, you can see Henry Jones's Grail Diary from the 3 3/4 Indiana Jones line. That line just supplies so many cool things. All right, so here is the whole thing again. You can also see at the bottom of the left-hand chair is a Persian slipper, which Sherlock keeps his tobacco in. That, believe it or not, came from eBay, from eBaying Sherlock Holmes Persian Slipper. Someone actually made that, designed to go with a Sherlock Holmes toy, I guess. Crazy. And there you go. I'm sure I got some things wrong, left some things out, but if you want to give a shot of making one of these, I rattled off some of the figures you'll need to get, and good luck.